Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another high-grade Gundam review, and today I'm taking a look at the absolutely massive box that is the RX 9/A Narrative Gundam A-Packs. Once again, as usual, this video right here would not be possible without those awesome people over at Hobby Link Japan, so if you do want one of your own, then you can grab it down there in the description. So before busting this thing out, I will mention that the box art on this thing is absolutely awesome. It has such depth and so much going on, and it is absolutely filled to the brim with Bandai skullduggery. I mean, seriously, there is no Narrative Gundam available on its own, just this huge, big, fairly expensive box. That's 5,500 yen in case you're wondering. The Narrative, not available by itself. On top of that, we've got the Phenex in the background, which, like I mentioned in the review of that, which you can check out as well. I'll drop the link to that review in the description. There'll be a card up there too. But that is like the 1000th variant of the same old Gundam Unicorn High Grade. And besides that, we've got two Jesters on this box, and they're only available from Bandai. So once again on this box you've got Extortion, a Bet Dead Horse, and Forbidden Jesters. But once again, besides that, all in all, this looks incredible. And also before opening up the box, I will mention as well, in case you're not aware, this right here is from Gundam Narrative, and there is a 23-minute preview of the first movie of that here on YouTube to watch for free. So if you haven't seen that yet, I'd recommend watching that. And before you know it, you might be inclined to pay that 5,500 yen for this bad boy, because it is awesome. But anyway, back to the unboxing. So let's check out the sides and see what we actually get inside this monolith of a high-grade box. So first off, there is the Narrative Gundam itself, which straight away you can see is a variant of the new Gundam. Actually, it's meant to be a test bed or prototype for the new Gundam. And also, you'll notice that it just happens to be missing some armor, which means we're probably going to be seeing a whole lot of variations of this in future, including a fully armored one. But all in all, it looks so good. I have a lot of hope for this high grade right here. It should be cool. You will eventually see one being released individually without the massive armor section, but I assume that's probably going to be one which has the thigh and arm armor later on. More than likely, maybe not. Next up, there it is with that big mobile armor-esque A-pack. There's some info there on the frame saying that the frame attached to the waist allows the large special combined armament to be intact. I assume that means it holds it all together. Down here it says the joint part can be replaced to recreate the deployed Psycho Capture. Of course, that's the thing it tries to catch the Phenex with, and that means that that doesn't seamlessly transform. It sounds like that's going to be a parts forming part. Sliding that over a bit more, we've got some more information on it, and it says the base of the cannon can slide toward the front and unfold. Well, that seems to say the opposite. That looks like it actually does move out and open up. I guess we'll find out once it's built. We've got some moving sections down there for the leg thrusters. I'm guessing those cannons are pretty heavy, as it seems to get a pair of dedicated stands for those. And over here it does come with a base as well, as you'd expect for a mobile armor-esque thing like this. Lastly then, over here it says we've got some missile pods up here, and the covers of those can be removed. Spinning that around to the other side, we have some information on the weapons and detail there, mainly just pictures, and then we have a big dramatic picture right here of what the model will look like finished. There's the Phenex in the background, the two forbidden Bandai Jesters, and down here then we've got a bit of a blurb about the mobile suit. I won't waste your time by reading that out, but I will pop it up on the screen right now so you can read it at your own leisure. And like I mentioned already, this thing is going to cost you about 5,500 yen or so. But that is enough about this massive box, which I can't fit in frame. Let's bust it open bottom first. So the first thing we have in here is an ad for this right here. You may have heard about this already, but this is the B parts to make Narrative Gundam B-Pack. Sadly, this right here is premium Bandai only, so if you do want it, that's going to be hard to get. And on top of that, it doesn't actually come with the Narrative Gundam, which means that you have to buy this absolutely monumental kit to use this smaller backpack thing. That makes no sense. Buy that, take all those armor parts, throw them to the side, and put that on it. That is ridiculous, and there is nothing around the back. Anyway, there is the front of the manual. Down here, we've got all the info on the mobile suit, in case you're interested in that. Inside of that, then, it seems to be just your pretty standard. Actually, no, this is far from your standard high grade. There's a whole lot of building in here. This is a big manual. Let's take a quick look at the parts list to see if anything is X'd out, which it is not. So that means everything is brand new for this kit, or at least it seems like that so far. So this could be impressive. Flipping around the back for that extra information, you would have seen this blurb up here already on the side of the box, and then we have some info on the 5-tube medium missile pod. Apparently there are 3 5-tube missile pods capable of firing medium-sized missiles on the left and right sides. Apparently both of these can rotate and they can be purged when fired. We also have some information on the narrative Gundam itself. Once again, just like with a lot of the other RX Gundams, this was built by Anaheim Electronics. It's a psycho frame testing machine, and it mentions that various parts of the armor have been removed, exposing the inner frame. I wonder if this kit actually has a full inner frame or not, considering those parts are exposed. Let's flip back and see. Seems like we kind of have a yes and no situation here. The feet are just standard high-grade feet, but it seems like we've got some kind of half inner frame in the legs. It does have some of the outer armor attached into it, but still looking quite detailed for a high grade. As for some more information that's around here in the back, we've got some on the Psycho capture, once again for capturing the Phenex, and it mentions that those parts can move up towards the tip of those arms. And lastly, over here we've got some info on the large beam sabers, and basically it can form large beams at the end of those Psycho captures, so that is pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see what they look like once completed. And finally then at the bottom we do have that color guide, and all that information will be up on the screen for you to read at your own leisure. The first runner we have in here is runner A1 with all the white parts. This one right here is high grade 1/44th scale narrative Gundam, so it's brand new for this kit, and that of course means it is Bandai Spirits 2018. This runner right here has a whole lot of really small tiny parts, so the part separation on here is very nice looking so far. Very nice. Shaping up to look awesome so far. A2, just a repeat of some parts of A1. Runner B1 then is a lot of grey parts of the inner frame of the arms, legs, and the waist unit. This again is new for this kit, and as for hands so far, it seems like we only have holding hands and a rifle holding hand. No dynamic ones so far anyway, but again, looking good. As for B2, it's just a repeat of some of those parts, and again, the part separation looking solid. C1 there in a coolish grey, that looks like it's going to complement the white sections really nicely, and once again, new for this kit. C2 then, a repeat of some of those parts. D then in a dark navy blue, the bottom parts of the feet as well as the backpack. This I feel I've seen before in a lot of these newer UC kits, including the Unicorn and the Sinanju Stein. Looking good. E1 then the red parts of the waist, that little chin red section as well as the crotch cannon. E2 then is the double V fin antenna, and this I really like. Just the way the symmetry lines up is so nice. Not including those little weird safety point things that they put onto these kits, which I hate. But this is at the same time like your normal double V-fin, the V in the center and those two sections in the middle, but at the same time they're two symmetrical Vs, which is so cool. As well as looking like the new Gundam's V-fin, it kinda reminds me of the Strike Noir a little bit. Looks great. F1 then is some clear parts, what look to be potentially a cockpit, parts for the eyes, and these I assume are for the stands for supporting the front sections of the APAC. There's F2, a part of the torso of the narrative Gundam, and this right here shows how much importance Bandai has put on this kit, because on other kits they would just make something like this a sticker, but not here. One blue part on a dedicated runner. That's great to see. So it looks like we're getting on to the big parts now of the APACs, and it does say that right here, which is interesting. This says Narrative Gundam APACs. They didn't write that on the standard Narrative Gundam, which means they do plan to release the Narrative Gundam separately at some point. Potentially the APAC separately, but I don't really see them doing that. But that does define this as a different set of runners than the one with the Narrative Gundam. Anyway, once again in that dark navy blue, like the feet. G2 then, just some repeated parts. There's runner H1, again it says APACs on this runner, and if these are the tips of those capture majigs, then this is gonna be huge when completed. Cannot wait. H2 then is just more tips for capture majigs. From here on out, it's just a whole lot of parts for the APACs, which don't have a whole lot of detail or anything. They're not all that intricate, so I'm gonna go through them fairly quickly. There's runner I1, runner I2 with some repeated parts, runner J some huge pieces of the APACs, there are two of these runners, runner K then with those huge long sections of the Psycho capture. This is really giving me an idea of how big this thing is going to be, and it's going to be big. There are two of this particular runner as well. Runner L, pretty big again with the fuel tanks on here. There are two of those again in that cool light grey. Runner M1 this time with that typical ABS gloss because it is made of ABS. We have two of those. Runner N then in ABS as well. A lot of the parts, larger grey parts from the APACs, the things that hold everything together, as well as this little adapter segment here. for attaching into the base. And speaking of which, there is the base. If you build a lot of Gunpla, you'll recognize this. This has been going for the last 14 years, so from 2004. Those little clear support stands, we have 2 of these. Those are from 2016. Some standard high-grade pink beam sabers. You've seen these so many times before. And these ones, which you do not see as often. And I'm pretty sure these large beams are from a perfect grade, if I'm not mistaken. Those are from 2000, so yeah, I assume they're from a perfect grade. Your standard set of polycaps there from 2008. And lastly then is this. Yeah, that is a lot of stickers. That's not looking good. I was actually thinking the color accuracy was quite good on this until I saw this. And these right here I think are the killers, because those look like they're for these sections right here. And they are way too big to be stickers. And those look like a nightmare. I'm guessing they're for the missile pod. Ouch. It looks to me like you should invest in some blue, yellow, red and grey paint, because otherwise these are going to look pretty bad, I think. But anyway, that is it for the unboxing. It is a bit of a shame about the stickers, but they seem like maybe most of them end up on the Apex itself. The Apex seems cool, but it's the narrative Gundam itself that I'm really interested in. This is looking so good so far. Everything seems to be brand new, engineered for this year. And I have been holding off for this to start writing the list for the best kits of this year, because I don't think anything coming out beyond this, except maybe the real grade full armor unicorn, would really be a contender for the top 10. So it'll be interesting. Can this dethrone the Moon Gundam as the best high grade of the year? I can't wait to find out, and I can't wait to let you guys know. So as always, if you do want to ask any questions you would like answered in the actual review, drop them down there in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla unboxings and reviews, and I'll see you next time.